Simmons-Irving.
Page 11 and 12.
Whatever you want.
My arm is broke.
I don't know how else to, she's gonna do whatever she wants to do. How am I supposed to handle it?
I'm not a threat to the community. I invoke my constitutional amendment rights as well as my civil and civil rights.
Okay to remain silent? Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay.
Is there a problem?
I honestly feel threatened by this courtroom.
And this is not the circus.
I invoke my constitutional amendment rights as well as my civil and civil rights.
Okay to remain silent? Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay.
Is there a problem?
I honestly feel threatened by this courtroom.
And this is not the circus.
I'm
This is not a playroom.
clown.
This is a court.
I'm
And
very coherent and competent.
no one says you were incompetent, but you have bond conditions that you're supposed to live up to. And we've given you so much as we've also given you a lawyer, and you're supposed to treat everyone here with respect. And when you don't, there's serious consequences.
Is there a thing for self-representation? I know that is a third option as well.
Of course you can represent yourself. You can do open heart surgery on yourself too?
Well, I ask for fair representation in a speedy trial.
No one here does anything to hurt anyone. The only thing that we're concerned about here is public safety and that everybody gets treated fairly and with respect. That
Life for
includes,
life and safety against Harris County.
I don't know what to tell you about there, but you need to take that with whoever you feel threatened by. But
Harris County.
here, we need to protect everybody in Harris County.
Me and my children.
We've given you a lawyer. I want you to treat him with respect. And I want you to treat our clerks with respect, our bailiffs, and us. I'm not asking for much. The only condition I put on you now is to not go back to the location where you were allegedly trespassed from. They don't want you there. So that's why I'm telling you now, don't go back. That's the only condition that we have.
In regards to my housing, which is my documentation right here, that should be submitted into my file. My stuff is supposed to be terminated on the 30th of this month, which I had probable cause to actually go and speak with Gary Baxter in regards to my housing contract. I also emailed informal hearing before November the 1st and haven't got a response back. So I had every reason to be at Houston Housing Authority.
You may have had a right to be there, but at some point, they're well within their right to say, look, we don't want you here anymore. You are creating a disturbance, so we would like you to leave.
Can y'all subpoena the cameras?
You can do whatever you want. You're going from here to here to here to here to here. Listen to what I'm saying and focus on this in the now. Don't start thinking of something in the future or something because you're not listening to what's happening now. You may have had a right to be there, but at some point you lost that because of the way you may have treated everyone and they didn't want you there anymore.
I'd like to file a hate crime against Harris County, the city of Houston.
Okay. You hear what I just said?
Hmm?
What did I just say?
Oh, I can't go back to 2640 Fountain View Drive in regards to it being my property, but have an actual,
I believe so. It's the Houston Housing.
yeah, the Houston Housing Authority have an actual reasons to be
That's
there.
not to say you may send them an email. You could send them a fax. I don't know if that would include calling. As far as trespassing is concerned,
I can look into it, Judge. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was wrongfully
they can
evicted.
have an issue if she calls over there. That I don't know.
The
Wrongfully
notice here
terminated.
that is kind of the subject of this incident does give her multiple options: email, mail, fax, phone. And She did send those emails. She
And I
was,
don't know now with them telling her they don't want her back, how does
well,
that play
if
into?
they haven't
you know?
asked for a no contact order and there's no specific person, I would say.
Exactly.
Because she
No response back from my
she still has
emails.
not been, she lives in, she has housing assistance with the Houston Housing Authority judge. And it says her assistance will be terminated on the 30th. So I mean, this is where she lives of this month. So she's still got a couple more days to try to resolve whether she's gets to continue, having housing assistance.
The only other thing, it's what's your last name again?
Simmons-Irvin, Ervin.
You're very passive aggressive in the way you come off.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a victim of Harris County,
That may be
and so are my children screaming.
that may be well right. But in life, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar. And when you go to these people and you act in such a manner that they think you may be threatening them, you're not going to get far.
It's
Listen,
retaliation.
are you listening to what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, sometimes if you tuck your tail, you may get a lot more in life. I'll give you an example. I got pulled over months ago. I know I was in the right, but the officer came up and he goes, "Why did you stop? Why didn't you stop at that stop sign?" I know I stopped, may have been for a second or two. I told the officer, "Listen, Simmons," I told the officer, "Look, I'm sorry. It was an accident. I'm an idiot." He let me go. If I would have said to him, you a-hole, you're wrong. I didn't stop. I did what I was supposed to do. What do you think he would have done? He would have probably given me 5 tickets. But because I said, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. It was stupid for me to do that.
Well, when you're facing reverse psychology,
You get more with honey.
and they try to provoke you,
So what? Who cares? Be the bigger person. You're still going to get more. That's life. That's maturity. And when you tuck your tail, sometimes you get so much more, even if you're in the right and they're in the wrong. Who gives a shit? Sometimes that's what you have to do.
I also understand the indirect language it is in the Harris County Handbook dated 2021. And anybody that threatens and harass me in it, I have every right to press charges.
Did you just hear anything that I just said?
I did. I understand. I won't be there, but I know that I had every right to be. So if I'm forced out on the
You
streets,
don't have every right to
it'd be
be.
because of the government.
Don't have every, I'm telling you now, and I'm ordering you not to go back to this place.
I'm not going there, but I have every right to speak. So I guess I need to contact Washington or somebody in regards to my contract and things, because this is a government facility. And as it says your housing assistance will be terminated on 11/30/2024. I also have 2 different client numbers as well. One number is 582213 and another one is 251651. So I had every right in regards to speaking with Gary Baxter again, which is right here, Kenneth Coles, Gary Baxter. Also received an email to reinstate my housing, I guess, I don't know, from Gary Baxter in regards to all that. So I'm just confused, because if I'm forced out on the streets in regards to being homeless and they're trying to pass new laws, then just so hypothetically, of course, thrown back into Harris County against my will, where I was held for 6 months, which is a violation of my constitutional and amendment rights, then it's retaliation. Also, I was told to surrender my inheritance in the direct language while I was being attempted murder by Harris County.
Have you speak to Corey about everything. Just remember, be nice. You get a lot more when you're nice than when you start raising your voice and yelling.
I am a traumatized victim. So if y'all could please work with me in regards to that, because I am a victim of Harris County. I do have a VAWA, a Violence Against Women's Act. It is still in the residence portal and everything. Simmons Irvin.
If anyone ever treats you wrong, just tell me and I'll try to do what I can to help you out. In any way, any shape, form, fashion, whatever you know, I'll help you as much as I can. All you got to say is the word.
Also facing my children being, the child expliciting cases.
Okay.
So let's just focus on just signing your
So
bond condition.
I'm going to have you sign the conditions. We'll have you stay with Corey. Just be nice. Hopefully you'll get your housing back if you're nice. That's it. All right? Please.
This one,
Simmons-Urban.
page 11 and 12.
You picked up a new case, Miss Simmons.
Simmons Urban.
Urban, we're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You now stand charged with the offense of criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
Yes, Judge. The officer was dispatched to a club in Harris County, Texas in response to a disturbance. The complainant, an employee of the club, told officers that she had asked the defendant to leave and the defendant refused. The defendant had been trespassed by another officer the day prior, and the complainant stated the defendant continues to return to the location. During the incident, when the complainant told the defendant to leave, the defendant stated, "Leave me alone or I will hit you in the head." The defendant told officers that everyone at the location was trespassing and that she should have been given a pink paper in order to be trespassed.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. You've picked up a new case. The only thing I asked you to do was not pick up a new case, and now you've done it. So what happens now? Corey?
Judge, I'm going to ask for you to allow her to remain on bond. The state hasn't filed, if that's what you're getting at. The state hasn't, the state hasn't filed a motion to revoke bond. I'm not prepared for it. If they have, ask for time for a hearing to be set. So we can, have a hearing based on evidence. She hasn't violated the bond conditions, from the previous case as far as they relate to going to the housing authority.
She has, though. One of the conditions is behave yourself, give no facts or rise to probable cause so that you violate any new laws. She's now picked up a new case.
What I'm saying is related to your very specific orders about her not to go back to the address where her apartment was or the Houston Housing Authority address. She's complied with those terms.
But if I let her go now, that's enabling this behavior and telling her it's okay.
Well, Judge, I think it would be punitive if you put her in jail as opposed. Well, that's not the purpose of bond, right? It's community safety and the community.
She's threatening people allegedly there to beat them in the head. She won't leave.
That's hearsay. Let me do the talking.
Take you into custody, ma'am.
Judge, that's hearsay. I think we're entitled to a hearing.
Yes, I'll give you a hearing. Sure. Whatever you want.
My arm is broke.
I don't know how else to, she's going to do whatever she wants to do. How am I supposed to handle this?
I'm not a threat to the community, so I'm not understanding, and as I said, that is hearsay. Is there any way, can you subpoena the cameras? Because I didn't threat anybody, and there is also multiple witnesses that was there as well.
Sure. So that's my job. That's not the judge's job, and I'll do that just like I've done for the previous case.
So,
Judge, can we allow her to remain on bond until we have an actual hearing following the rules?
I haven't been around the.
Following the rules of evidence for bond revocations.
Here's what we'll do, Corey. What I'm going to do is I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test now. If you fail to take the test, if you fail to do what you're supposed to do, I am going to revoke your bond and put you in jail. I'm now putting a GPS monitor on you and I'm giving you a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Do you understand?
Okay, 1 second. I'm homeless because they have refused to let me back into my apartment.
I'm not going to talk to you. This is not a negotiation.
No, I'm
It's
not.
either you follow the conditions of bond or I'm going to revoke it and put you in jail.
Okay.
This is better
So
than being in
whatever
jail,
you want.
unless you want to be in jail.
Your lawyer's asking me not to put you in jail now.
Well, how long
You
would I be in
picked
jail?
the case.
Until November the 22nd?
No, I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test now. We are going to reset this case until Monday.
That's the-
You were to come back Monday so we can address it. In the
I
interim,
did consume alcohol. Not anytime soon, so that's fine.
I want you to listen. I'm going to put a GPS monitor on you and I'm giving you a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Do you understand?
Where is my curfew supposed to be from is the question. Because if I'm currently homeless and I am sleeping on the city streets, residing, because they refuse to let me back into my apartment,
I
where
know what you're doing.
where is that supposed to be at?
That's what these conditions I'm giving you, ma'am.
It'll be within an exclusion zone. We do GPS within exclusion zones. Since we
Sure.
Have a permanent
Oh, okay.
address in.
But I don't, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm gonna randomly test you, but I'm saying you now for a test, you're to come back Monday. Do you understand?
That's fine.
Okay, I'm giving you a monitor on your ankle. I don't want you going to any clubs, bars, or anything of this nature. Do you understand?
That's fine.
Thank you, Judge.
See you Monday.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sending her now for a test. I want to know what, if anything,
Where do I go to take this test?
she'll tell you.
Curfew's 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, so if she's homeless, we need a home base for the GPS to observe and be.
That's what I was trying to say.
She's got to live in somewhere. Got to be
I
living.
don't have friends or family or nothing, so that's what I'm saying.
You put your head somewhere down at night.
Yeah, on the city streets.
We'll get an address for it. Thank you, Judge. It's better than jail.
Yeah, it's not gonna be examiners either.
Maybe excuse me.
Craig,